Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Andre from the Opinionated Podcast, and I just want to remind you that we are live every Sunday on our Facebook page, and you can find us wherever you stream your music at the Opinionated Podcast. So we drop a new episode every Tuesday. So remember to like, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Opinionated Podcast, and we're your hosts.
Kevin Durant that talks loudly.
And I'm Andre. And I want our guest to introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Montesha. Oh, you want
All
me to
right.
you want to say what I did? Oh, and
Yeah.
I am an author of a short story series. I have written 3 books so far.
Right. So let's
Nice.
let's get into the backstory. Let's get into your upbringing, where you're
Meat
from,
and
where you grew
potatoes.
up. Yeah, let's have our viewers get to know you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start off by saying I'm from Portland, Oregon, from the West Coast, and what got me into writing? I've got a great imagination. When I tell you, I don't know if it's because I'm a great liar or I just got good perspectives when it comes to situations. I'm gonna be completely honest. I can lie
Hey,
myself out of a situation.
oh
So,
man.
I don't know. I was young. I read a book by, I hope I say her name right, Chinucci. It was a gangster's girl saga. And I think I was 13. And I was like, oh my God, I can write like this too. So I wrote my first book when I was like 14, 15. I passed it around to all my friends in high school, and they they was like, yo, Montesha, this is good. And I was like, yeah, when I get older, I'm gonna be a novelist. I think it was 2017. I just had my first daughter, my only daughter. I lived in Georgia. I was pretty bored. I was sitting at home and I was going through postpartum depression. And I just didn't want to be myself no more. So I start writing. And when I start writing, other people start like asking at work, like, hey, what you doing? What you writing? Let me read it. And I let them read it. And it was like, bro, you got to finish this. And so I ended up
Wow.
finishing it. And that's how I started my first book.
So I'm
And
guessing
I
the
just
book
took
was.
off from there.
So I'm guessing the book you starting to write the book was you to try to live like a different life other than your own, but
Yes, I
through
did
your
not know.
story.
Like, yeah, like and it's so crazy because court service. Y'all think I would kill people? Y'all think I would be the one to end up in jail? I'm not like that. So it was really funny, but
That's dope.
yes, I escaped myself, and I also got to be other people. Like I got to be a man. I got to be a man who thinks he's all that in a bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? So I know men like that. So actually expressing myself as one, how I would be if I was a dude,
No, I don't think
dope.
I'm not that way,
Okay.
right?
I I think
You that way?
that's one of the dope parts about, like, that's why I say I envy people who can write, because it's like you literally get to step in, if that's what you choose to do, step in anybody else's shoes and just boom, let your imagination explode. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what
That's
I
at
want to
least
say
that's how I
about
feel.
that? You said it like envy people who can write. Literally
Mhm.
everybody can write because everybody has a story. So when people tell me I want to write a book but I can't write, I be like, you literally can. You don't have to necessarily write. You can record. You can have
Mhm.
somebody else write it for you. Like it's other ways that you could write a book and not necessarily write a book. Like, because a lot of people don't think you can write a book. It's not all about writing. Some people type
Okay.
audio books. Some people
Audio
got the voice
books.
for it. Yeah, some people
So
Okay.
got the voice for it.
did you? Well, you said you've been doing this since high school, so it was like it was. I'm guessing it came easy to you. You didn't really, did you have any stumbling
I could tell
blocks
you could
or?
put words together.
Yeah, yeah. Did
Yeah.
you have?
Stumbling. Okay, look. Let me tell you something. Everybody has a writer's block, um, and that's where people have to find their peace or their eureka. I always say when I can write a whole bunch of pages. I got my burst of eureka, like boom, it was there. Some people like quiet, some people can listen to music, some people smoke, some people have a drink. A lot of writers, they would say, I drank. I had a drink, I had a few drinks. They show it in movies, they everything. Like, so you gotta find your you. I had a lot of writer's block. There was times I was like, I'm not doing this no more. This is dumb. And it was everybody else like seeing it through for me to do it. I
Well,
had a great support.
that's good. So you never had anybody like doubt you, like, yo, what are you doing?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah, I know it. Listen,
Yeah.
they come.
The
Yeah.
doubters come.
And it sometimes it's the people in your circle. Like
It can be.
my daughter's dad did not think that I could do it. He was like, nobody reads. And I said, do you be on social media? He said, which one? I said, I know a lot of people who be on Facebook. Facebook lets you write any amount of words you want to. Do you know how many people tell stories on that thing?
Word.
So many. People sit there and read and write and all that. You can type, excuse me. So you can literally not tell me nobody reads. Nobody reads. And then
You
people were telling me, this dude, this one dude, y'all, he told me I was ready to knock his head off. He said, I have a clothing brand. It's gonna outlast your books. Name a book that outlasts clothes. I said, do you know what the Holy Bible is?
right,
He
the
said,
Bible. Like,
what?
wait,
I
what?
said, the oldest book. That's
Written
a
the
book,
man.
bro.
Best-selling book of all time. Yo, my man
Still
said my
around. I said, your grandma got one at home. Stop playing with me.
Oh, listen, nobody wears Sean John or Fubu anymore.
you strike me as a person. You strike me as a person who is not easily deterred from her goal. Because that to me sounds like they try to throw everything at you. Like, nah, you can't. Your baby,
Very
your
ambitious.
child's father saying you can't do it. That's crazy to me. Yo,
I'm an
nobody read.
Aries.
Wait, what?
I'm an Aries.
Aries
My
in the
wife's
building.
So
Aries.
I'm an Aries
Yeah.
too.
so look, let me tell you something. It's people saying you can't do it. That make me say, watch me do it. I'm gonna do it just because you said I can't do it. You
That's
are the
right.
one that is gonna motivate me the most out of everybody. And let me say, I will overwhelm myself sometimes, but I always say I work best under pressure. So throw it at me.
So, have you ever had any self doubts, like your own personal self doubts? Like I we always bring this. We looked at at our podcast. It's like at one point in time, it's like, yo, this shit. I said to myself, this shit is not going anywhere. Like, what am I
I
doing?
didn't say
Why am
that.
I
I'm a
not? You said that before, bro.
I
You
might have
look,
said that.
I am.
yeah.
You ain't said it before. You gonna sit here and lie? You gonna lie?
I might have said
You gonna
that.
lie?
I
Because
might have.
I'm not gonna lie. I've said that I'm a self-published author, so is sometimes I lack promoting skills. I lack marketing skills. I lack having the right resources. Like my third book, y'all. I'm so upset right now. My third book, it came to me, and when I got them, they look like a magazine. It's really big. Not gonna show you guys because I'm a little embarrassed by it, but I love the artwork. It's beautiful. You can see everything very clearly. Um, and that's just things with being a self-published author that you are gonna go through. Sometimes running into stuff that'll set you back because this book was supposed to be released January 18th. I got my copies. What day is it? February 19th. I got them just before I got on here. And when I opened it, I was so upset I almost cried and not come on here. But I was like, I cannot do that to them because I'm not going to throw myself off like that because I can't. My fans are waiting for it, so I'm going to
That's right.
just correct it and get it right back out there because that's what I have to do, not only for me, but for my fans that are waiting for this book.
Listen,
Wow.
listen, shit.
That's a setback.
No, it
That's a
happens,
setback.
man.
It
But
is. It is.
a learning
Now
experience
that right
nonetheless.
there, that was the self-doubt that I got. And I was like, what did I did misprint? Was it a mistake on my end, or was it a mistake on who printed it in? So I have to get in touch with them as soon as I can. Monday is President's Day. So that's
Oh
another,
shit.
like, so
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
it's time of the essence. So it's like,
So let me
but
ask
I'm
you a question.
good.
I think we forgot to really ask the most important question. What is the name of your three books? Please tell the people.
Well, everyone, the the name of my short story series is The Payback I Owe. We have part one, which I have right here. Y'all will have this coming in the mail to y'all soon.
Ooh,
This is one. And we have two, which y'all will be having coming soon to y'all as well.
nice.
We already know what happened with part three.
Yeah,
But
we seen that.
part
Yes.
one, is just part one. Part two is called The Payback IO Part Two Debts Paid. And
Mm,
The Payback IO Part Three is called Backwards Bondage. So it
mm.
is something that people should really get into, because if you like suspense, drama, something you could
I
relate
do.
to, you know. I also, in part two, I am I really, really, really want to write a vampire series, like urban vampire series. Put some little magic in it, get some fantasy in there. I want to see black people do some fantasy stuff. We got culture that wears voodoo and all that. So in part two, I involved voodoo and New Orleans and things like that, and roots. So
Yeah. People get
if people are
voodoo
into
mixed up.
that type of stuff as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because people get voodoo mixed up. People think voodoo is this curse and all that stuff, like, which is really not. It's actually
No, it's
like
not.
it's a religion. It's really based on like
Hmm.
a religious practice that they practice. So people always, but that's how they do us
Yeah,
sometimes. Yeah.
Brainwashes.
Yeah, brainwash us and not to
yeah.
embrace our own culture. Like, oh, you practice voodoo, you practice that witchcraft, whereas like it wasn't meant to be
Yes,
a
that's why
witchcraft.
I'm like, and I relate it to real things that's happening. Like, in there's scenes where people is in prison, and how prison tries to separate with race, and having things like people getting beat in prison and stuff like that, like women getting beat and conned and all that type of stuff. I mean, I never been to jail, but I know people who've
Neither,
been to jail and told me.
neither,
So
neither have
I'm a
I.
good
Yeah.
girl. I'm a good
Listen,
girl.
Let me
there's no.
ask you a question. Who would you say, if any, and this could be an author, this could be even a showrunner, or these, like, a writer of screenplays and all that. Who's your biggest inspiration?
If you don't have any shit,
Yeah.
yeah, you got to
No,
make.
no, 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 no. I want to say inspiration, because I love Sister Soldier. Everybody loves her. She
Uh,
released a book not too long ago, and people were like, "Oh, I gotta go get this book because the coldest winter ever." That was one of
Mhm.
the first books she wrote, and people are like, "Her first book was good, so her last book has to be even better." Like, so
Right.
that motivated me. I was inspired by that. I also like Zane. I've never read a Zane book, y'all, but
I seen
everybody
it.
talks about it.
Yeah, my girl read a bunch of Zane books.
Everybody.
Everybody I know ever read a Zane book. Cause like, I'm like, who's Zane? Oh, you don't know who Zane is?
I heard the name
I
Yes.
listen.
and I
I s-
read, but
They're like, and another person who inspired me, which is it's probably gonna be like weird, because I don't I don't think he's a writer. I don't know if 50 Cent was involved in any of his
mm,
writing. I don't know. But you know what? I
okay.
want to write something for 50 Cent. I want 50 Cent. I don't want Tyler Perry to pick it up. I want 50 Cent to pick it up. I love
Wow.
how 50 Cent has people all over the internet going crazy. Like, his exposure level is just like, don't get me wrong, Tyler Perry's a good writer. I just I'm not gonna go there, but
I got you.
50
we
Cent,
good.
okay?
Yeah,
50
we got it.
Bentley.
We
I
got
don't
it.
know. 50 Cent is like everybody likes 50.
Yeah,
I don't think they like him, but they like his shows.
Right.
They like his
One
shows,
of them.
y'all. I want to make a show. I want
but
my writing to take me behind the scenes of a show.
well, you can
Mm.
you can do that, man. Because if you said you listened to
Hmm.
the last episode, the one author we had on there, her books is about to become
Yeah.
a Netflix miniseries, and Netflix is picking
Yes.
up. If you got it written right, Netflix will throw you some money. You know what I mean? If they
Yeah.
think it's good,
Yeah.
So don't shortchange yourself. It could be you producing your own thing. I know it's another hat to put on, but yeah, look
Hmm.
Keep
into
putting on
that.
them hats.
Yeah,
Yeah. We put on hats where we from.
yeah.
we
So
don't care we don't care how many hats we got to put on, as long as it's done right and it comes like I was saying before, as long as what comes out of your head you can properly convey that to the audience. That's all that counts, in my
so
opinion.
I want to ask a question. Like we had somebody on here and they talking about how they get in the mood to write certain scenes. Do you have to be in like emotionally attached? Like say if you're writing say a scene where it's anger, do you have to feel some type of anger to write that? Or if it's a happy scene or a caring scene, do you have to be in that mood to write that? Or you could just, pretty much go whenever.
You got to get into it. You got to get
Mhm.
into character. You don't necessarily have to be mad to write some mad stuff, because once you know your character, you know who you are, and you know who you're supposed to be, and you're having this thought, you're gonna feel that, and you're gonna see it coming. Everything you're writing down, you're gonna feel that. So I think you do have to necessarily feel the emotion, but you don't have to be in that mood. Like, if I'm happy, I'm probably not gonna be writing. I'm
Mm.
probably not gonna
Mm.
be writing. I'm gonna be trying to be happy in somebody else's face. I'm going to try to go spread my happiness to people. But if I am, say, if I'm thinking, because I think sometimes, if I'm in a mood of thinking, and I might even be like, I'm bored, I'm finna go write something. Like, I'm not always in the mood of what I'm writing. I go into other stuff, because one day I can be tired, sleepy, upset, depressed. I don't want to write. But some other days I can be depressed and want to write. So it's really not that deep, because I'd be depressed writing, then I'm writing about a happy scene and I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm that person at the moment, if that
Mm.
makes sense.
Uh, I get it. Like you're put into that world. Like you leave
Yeah, like
reality
like,
behind
how
you.
you have I don't want to necessarily say I'm another, like a multi person disorder thing. I'm not going to say that, because people have that, but that's
Right.
how I see it, you know?
That's another style. To me, that's another style of writing. Like, you got the people who will, you know, turn on heavy metal music and go crazy when it's time to write a fight scene,
Hmm.
or you got the people who can actually become the characters that they write, which I still think is pretty
Hmm.
cool, especially if you look, man. One of these days, I'm gonna become a millionaire, and write. You know, what I mean, I don't know, like, what I mean, something like that. What's something interesting? So that's why I don't write books. What's something interesting? What's something
But
interesting I can write about?
How to
But
become
like,
a millionaire?
no, I'm just saying, like, something interesting as far as like what
fictional.
character I could be, a fictional character, like, I don't know, a pickpocket or something like that. But writing from the perspective of that character, to me, I feel like is always interesting, and a certain style of writing. You know what I mean? Just observation. I don't know. I think
Yeah,
that's
because
cool.
I know a lot of Omar Tyree is a male, and he writes female books too, in their perspective. And I'd be like, yo,
That's dope.
you're a dude. How did you know? How do you know I go through this stuff?
In
Like, what?
tune.
Yeah,
In tune.
so just Yeah, it's awesome. It is. And then you got people who just can write from a first person, and then people who write other people, like other perspectives. And then you have people who write like it's a scene happening in front of you. Like, I think script writing is really hard, which people would
Mm.
think, oh my God, you right. No, script writing is really hard. I can't scene, go to the left, camera roll this way. I can't. That to me sounds pretty hard. And they're like, it's simple. Shirt, guy, eyes, left. I'm like, yeah, that's not my style. So that's hard to me if I ever want to go into writing scripts for movies.
Mm. See, I
And
didn't know that because me and this guy always talked about writing the movie, but it's like I wonder how hard is it to make an hour movie to keep people intrigued that whole entire hour, because it's not like a book where you can read, and if
no,
you're
that's
not
hard to
pulling,
me.
yeah, you're putting that book, but you're putting that book down. You're like, okay, I'll pick it up tomorrow. Like I want to get to this tomorrow. But a movie is like you got to keep these people from freaking walking out the movie theater on your movie. Like, this is terrible.
But I think that's the same way with the book too. You gotta keep people from saying,
Yeah.
"All
Yes,
right, I don't
because
know when the
people
hell this
will
person gonna get
abandon
out
a
of this."
book.
I had a couple of. I got one
Oh,
I gotta
I
finish
wrote
right
a
now.
short series.
Uh,
Right. Well, wait. How many pages?
Write
How many
about it.
pages is? How many pages are they though?
Okay, so the first book I believe is about like 79 pages. I believe it's like 79. It's like
That's a nice
79
read.
pages.
That's a nice read.
Um, I actually made the second book longer. It's like 152 in the second book. And
That's a
then
nice
in the
read.
third one, I think I'm put it right back down to like 70 pages again.
Any
I'm just
specific reason for that? Sorry, Kev.
go ahead.
Um, because people could rip through a book in a day or two if it's good. If it's
Mm,
good and short enough. So they can give me feedback as soon as possible. Because when I first put out my first book, I needed people to tell me how they felt about it for me to want to do more books. And 79 pages was like right on the okay, you started a book.
mm,
It is kind of a short story. And if I like it, I'm going to want more. So when I put the first one out, and people was actually like, "Yo, when you gonna make a second one?" 2, 3 days getting back to me. When you gonna make a second one? This one girl, she got back to me. I love her so much. She got back to me. She was like, "Girl, don't you ever, ever, ever drop a book with that many pages and it's that good." And I was like, "For real? You
mm.
really like it? Like really? Like I should make more." She like, "Yes. Like when is second one coming?" So when I put the second one out, and I had people like get back to me a week or two, and it was like, I enjoyed this because you had other stuff in there, like you had cultural approaching with about black people. You had the white girl in there in prison going crazy after she experienced being around black people her whole life and loving them and everything. She got to prison and met somebody who was like, we run it here and you can run it. So she switched her whole profile completely up. Like, so when people was getting back to me with little details like that in the book and telling me and bringing it out and saying like, I liked that. I liked that. I liked it being this long. I was like, okay, cool. But then it was some people who was like, I can't read it that long because I have stuff to do. Okay, that makes
Wow.
sense. You read my first book quickly, but the second book was too long for you, so you had to spread your time out. That makes sense. They would get back to me like 2, 3 weeks and be like, I finished your book. This is what I got to say about it. I liked it. And I'm like, but you took a long time to read it. I don't like that. Let me get it back shorter. But y'all like the
Strategy.
short story. So that's what I ended up doing.
I'm always amazed when like talking to authors now. Is like, yo, I couldn't write a paragraph. It takes me forever to write a paragraph, but for y'all to sit there and write 79 pages, like, like what's your process? Like how many pages can you write a day that you can, you know what I mean, that you can get down in the day? You know what I mean? Do you have your days where 2 pages here, but I just knocked out 10 this day?
I one day I sat down, got all my stuff ready to write. I'm having some coffee. It's like 6 in the morning. I'm a morning person. I'll be up at like 4. Like 6 in the morning.
Ooh.
It's Sunday. And I just was sitting there and I was like, I'm gonna write. It's the day to do it. I wrote a couple of words and was like, all right, I'm done. I can't I'm I'm done with this. So I have days where I can't even write a paragraph. So when you said that, I'm like, yeah, I have days I can't write a paragraph. But I have days where I sit there and I write 18 pages and I'm like, oh my God, I just sat here and I wrote 18 pages. I'm feeling good. Like, and those are the days that I won't. But I don't get those days. I get them just every other month, every other.
Mm.
Some people don't know. Books can take years.
Yeah,
Books can take years. And I tell people, because it takes years, don't mean give up on it.
Right.
yeah. Last guess they said it took him
Do
what,
not
10
give up
years?
on a book
10 years.
that takes years, because I'm pretty sure Stephen King did not write his first novel.
On the day, yeah, no, no.
And
I
Stephen
Yeah.
don't.
King is awesome. There you go. There's the inspiration.
Boom.
Stephen King,
Yeah,
I think that's pretty accurate, especially when you were talking about
furry
like the
novels.
vampires. To me, I don't know why I related to, even though his is a little bit obviously
Yeah.
a lot different, but
Yeah.
as soon as you
Like
said vampires and
Stephen.
stuff like that, I was like, yeah, Stephen King,
yeah. We
the
don't. Yeah,
goat.
Well, in high school, I read this book called the Vampire Diaries, and that just like I was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed. Everybody was obsessed with Twilight, and I was obsessed with the Vampire Diaries. So,
yeah.
which is a fun fact. I went to the um I went to the high school that Twilight was filmed at.
Oh,
So,
What high school
word.
was that? What high school was that?
it was Madison High School in Portland, Oregon.
Because it was
Which
in
is really, it
Portland.
sucks now, y'all, because wait, hold on. I take that back. It doesn't suck because they named it after a black man. They tore it down and named it after a black man. Now it's called McDaniels.
Okay. Okay. Now, what's the mascot? That's what I'm really curious about. They better not be
I'm
the
not sure,
wolves.
but when it was senators when it was Madison. I don't know what it is now. These kids these days, they're getting the good stuff. Like I seen that high school and I was jealous, so I wanted to go there.
that is a interesting fact
I
though.
don't know.
Oh man,
Yeah, I
It's a fun
forgot it
fact.
was in Portland. It was super like stormy and gray out at most days.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I guess they're from Seattle or something. Seattle is
Oh
right
yeah.
around the way.
All right. I'm
Seattle, Washington. But they were filming in Portland, Oregon too. And it is a
right.
little always gloomy here, but it's beautiful.
Oh, does that help with your writing process when it is when you look outside and it's like gloomy? You like, yo, this is a perfect day to get 18 pages in.
Well, I'm like 52 pages in right now for my little vampire series
Okay.
that I'm
okay.
about to start. So uh
Mm,
it's been a little cold, but it ain't been as cold as it was last year, but it's been cold. So I
Yeah,
guess you
yeah.
could
okay.
say the weather motivates me because it keeps me in the house.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
even thought of that. All right, Kev, hold on. Let me
Go.
not cut you off, but I got another interesting question. I got another
Nah,
interesting
go,
question.
bro. Go ahead.
How many, or at least interesting to me, how many books, like content in general, we know, but how many books do you think are going to come from this pandemic about the pandemic? Because that's what I keep thinking about. Like, yo, the next 20 years is probably going to be lit with pandemic stuff and everybody just kind of telling their own story about what's happening right now.
So, so, so you look, check this out. In the vampire book that I'm writing, I made the apocalypse happen behind the pandemic. So that's funny you said that. I
Mm.
believe, I believe, I believe we gonna get a lot of books. I'm not even gonna say like I can't even put like a number on it because we got authors that's from Australia, Japan, places like
Mm,
that who write too about that stuff. And it'd be
right.
interesting because they write about us. Just like we write about them, they write about us. You got critics and things that write books about over here in the pandemic too. Like, oh, the Americans don't know what's going on. They blame such and such, things like that. So I don't really know.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
500,000.
I
Because
think a
we
lot.
we count in the future too, right? We count in the
Right.
future too.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I,
What
I
in
don't
the next 5 years?
shit.
I
Listen, we
think that
start our
over
podcast.
100,000 books is wrote.
Already. Already.
It's something like
Yeah,
that because you got to
yeah.
think about it. We started our podcast before the pandemic, and we didn't even know what a podcast was. Now it's like a billion of them. I'm like, holy shit! Like, I'm
Everybody in the
guessing when
house.
more, yeah, everybody's in the house. You got to do something with their time. You just got to
Yeah,
do.
you gotta do something to make. My books used to be $8. I was discouraged because nobody used to buy them before the pandemic. I self-published and wrote and got this book out 2017. Okay. This book, nobody would pick this book up when it was $8. I only had like people from my church, which is crazy because escorting service, killing and all that. So people from my church was like, hey, no judgment, you know? So it was fun to get that support. But
Man,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
crazy when this pandemic hit and I was like, yo, I ain't working. I don't got no unemployment. How am I gonna get some money? I said, I got a bunch of copies of my book. I'm finna tell people this book is $15. And as soon as I posted it online, people bring me the book. I'm bored. I need to read. It's a
Yeah.
pandemic. Oh, straight up.
Because yo, you got to think, man. We were just sitting in the house. We couldn't do nothing. We couldn't be around our family. We couldn't. It was just a weird. It was a weird time, man.
It
And
was. It was
the
horrible.
hat.
I hated it.
But look how much creative things have came out of this, man.
Yes.
You made something that was a negative into a positive. You got your book out there because you said before you was having a hard time selling it, but it's like I couldn't sell it at 8, but shit, people buying it up at 15, so I can't be mad.
And that shocked me. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was
Giving them
muted.
away
That's
for
right.
free at one point, and they did not want it.
See,
I had people telling me, "Oh, I don't read." Okay, you don't want my book? No. Then it got to where people on social media liked just taking pictures with it. Hell yeah, go ahead and do that. Take a picture with it and let your friends see you with it. You ain't gotta read it. Just let them know that is Montesha's book and it is
Mm.
titled "The Payback I Owe," and get them a copy.
exactly.
Just real quick, I have
Go
a
ahead.
question. With
Mm.
you saying that, because I heard a lot of people say stuff like that. Oh, I don't read. I mean, it's fine. Not everybody reads. It just took to a couple years ago when I started reading. Did you ever hit them with the, all right, well, I mean, I got the I could do the
The
voiceover on
audio.
Audible and then got you, yep, got the audio for that too. Now what you
Yeah.
gonna say? You know what
Hold
I'm
up.
saying?
One thing,
Oh, I'm
because
going too fast. I'm going too
yeah, you
fast.
no 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 you do audio. Do you
Yes.
read okay? I'm a big fan of people who read their own work. Do you do that, or did you have somebody do it for you?
I didn't want to do it at first because I thought my voice was very like plain. But you know what?
Nah.
You know what? It was until I read the first 10 pages. My homeboy Weez, shout out to Weez. Weez Beats, y'all. He do beats and production and everything. He's working on my audio for my first, and we're gonna do the rest of my books through him as well. He
Mm.
um he let me record in his studio. It took me 2 hours to do 10 pages. 10 pages.
Okay.
And that was just the first chapter of my book. It's 10 pages. And that's not including the dedications. That's not including about the author. It was just the first 10 pages of the book. And it took me 2 hours. I thought I sounded stupid. But you know what? I had my boy in there laughing. He said, I can hear them characters through you. Like he said, it's you reading it, but I can feel
Mm.
like it's them. And I had to play a dude too. So I'm like trying to make my voice all deep. And he like, just read it, Montesha. You got this. It's funny. He like, it's funny. It's a good book. He like, I ain't even read it. I'm hearing
Mm.
it and I want to read it. And I
So
was like,
yeah,
okay,
That should tell you something right
motivation.
there.
that's
Mm.
what I listen. I like when the authors read their own book. When they get somebody to read it for them, it just sounds so. It's like they don't have the same passion that the person who created it has
Yeah.
for the book. It's like you're
But you
just doing this
know,
because
how, artists, if an artist is an artist, I feel like, like, I don't know, I wanted somebody who sounded real, like, turn the page to sis.
no,
Like, I wanted that.
no.
You wanted John Luc Picard to read your joke?
Yes. If I could have got Morgan Freeman to read my
Oh,
book, I would
Nah,
have
that'd have
had
been
him
dope.
read it.
Nah, that'd have been dope.
listen,
That'd have been crazy.
Morgan Freeman is like one of the best narrators. When he did 21 Salvage, I'm like, yo, you got Morgan Freeman. This
Yeah,
shit
that's
sounds
pretty
dope. Yeah, Morgan
There's
Freeman.
certain people that if they do your book, no matter what, it's like, nah,
Yes.
that's a win.
Dope,
That's a
dope.
win.
Yeah.
Shit.
Are you a bigger fan of audiobooks than you are of, just sitting down and cracking one open and reading?
Um, as I got older, I started listening to podcasts more. Um,
Okay.
so a lot of audio is in podcasting. Like I said, I have a wild imagination. I can listen to people's voices and come up with faces and things like that and hearing what they say. I think my imagination is more wild than movies. So hearing it gives me something, seeing it gives me something too. But when I read it, I got to go back over and read it again to have that same image go back. I don't know if that makes sense.
Me
Some
too.
people can read it and then
Yes.
be like, what did I read? I didn't see it. I don't
Yeah.
know. And then they got to go back over and read. So
Mm-hmm.
I will have to do that a few times. Not once, not once, more than once,
Right.
3, 4 times I did that.
Me
So
too.
with audio, it's like, I don't know, I'm hearing everything as I'm hearing everything, I'm seeing it too. Even though I might be at work doing stuff. I listen to y'all at work and I was cracking up. My work people was like, what are you
It's that
listening
guy.
to? What is that? I'm like, y'all don't know nothing about this. This is the opinionated podcast. Y'all don't know.
That's this guy over here.
Nah.
That guy.
Yeah, listen,
Hey,
my
have you? Let me ask you a question.
I
I'm
was-
sorry, Kev. I know I keep cutting you off, but I'm.
yeah, it's
It-
cool. It's
my
it's cool.
bad. My bad.
He's like, Kev, shut the F up. I got a
Have
point.
you have you ever thought about doing a podcast? Because I honestly think you would be perfect.
I have thought about doing a podcast. I gotta do my research. I gotta do my research.
Yeah.
I want to do a podcast with my homegirl. She also edited my books. Her name is Johnisha Johnson. She edited my books. She gonna be my future PR because
Okay.
she speaks so well, and I feel like if she let me, she helped me, I would deliver messages to other crowds other than just a crowd that hears me and hears my voice and could understand it. Like y'all, I used to work for this leasing agency, and they couldn't get nobody in New Jersey to stay on the phone with them until I came. I was like, I don't know why they like my voice.
You
Like
sound
maybe
like
because I
you
don't
sound like
sound fake.
now you sound like you from Jersey. That's why I was like,
You
okay.
kind of do. I
Maybe
ain't
I
gonna
sound
lie.
authentic. Like I,
That-
I
yeah.
literally was calling New York, New Jersey. I called a little bit of Connecticut, and they did not want to hear these people's voice. They
Mm.
were Caucasian, and they're, hey, how you doing? Can I talk to your manager? Nobody wants to hear that. Click.
No, it sounds like I
Why?
owe
They
you a
used to say,
bill.
why? What you calling for? Who? Manager. I'm the manager.
I'm the manager.
Yeah. I'm the manager. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, you can't
like
get them to
somebody.
get on the phone? They gave it to me. I got the deal. We good. They like, can you take my leasing? Help.
People
Mo, help
person.
us.
That's what it is. People
I
person.
told them
I
that.
think
You have
that's
to have
more of what it is.
personality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta have
man.
personality. Personality goes a long way.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
absolutely. And it shows up. It shows up in the writing as well. Like if you ain't got no
Yes.
personality, then your stuff gonna be flat.
Yes.
Your
Yeah,
ideas ain't gonna
My
come across like
teachers,
you want them
my
to.
teachers used to call it voice. They used to be like, you have to have a voice in your writing. So
Well, how would you describe having a voice? Because I heard that before, but I don't quite understand it.
so yeah, we got to tell us idiots.
um
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, no, I'm an idiot.
Me too.
okay, you can say the cat is fat. That's not having a voice. It's just you're saying a cat is fat, which is stupid. You can say someone with a voice would say the cat was voluptuous with fur so thick you could
Mm.
see him a mile away. Something like that is
Paint
having
the
a voice.
picture.
That's you, yeah, you have personality. You gave us how you describe things. You also gave us a vision of something that we can visualize. Voluptuous is not only big, it's curvy. So
Mm.
you know that also means the cat. It might be a big, oddly voluptuous cat. Like like so people
Mm.
don't know the difference, and the difference is having personality. Nobody wants to read something like the Cat in the Hat was a good one because it rhymed, it was fun, it was playful.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
hear his voice in it, even though you're not hearing it. You can read it and hear it.
Mm.
Um,
True. Okay.
what's I don't know. I don't know a boring book. I don't read boring books. I don't know,
Oh, I just
but
read one.
those books that how to do this or for stupid people
Yeah. How
like
to teach a dummy. I
yeah,
didn't say that how to
those
teach a
you can
dummies,
see
but
the
how the
humor.
fuck?
Poor dummies.
That's humorous. You can hear the voice in that. That's a joke. That's sarcasm, and it's funny. Haha, yeah, but this helps you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It serves a purpose.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah. He's not an author, but he had a good voice. Was Biggie? I know I'm way off topic, but Biggie
You can call him
Smalls.
an author. He's still an
Yeah,
author.
he is a writer. But when I would hear
Yeah,
his
he wrote.
tracks, yeah, when I would hear tracks by Biggie, I felt like I was there. I'm like, wow, he painted a very bright picture. Like I'm here while he's telling me this. I'm like, dang, there's not too many people that can do that because you have some artists who can't paint as you or give that voice. They just like,
Mm.
I'm just listening to
Yeah,
music right now. It's like, all right, cool.
the beat
Whatever.
is good.
Exactly. The beat
He
is
wrote
good.
the beat.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
wrote the beat.
Yeah. I was when I first heard him, I was definitely sipping Mo on my living room floor playing Nintendo, and I saw that. I
Yeah.
saw all of that.
Yeah. I
I was
know.
there.
Yeah, I really have a vision of when he's that line right there. I have a vision of what his room looked like. I'm like,
Right. Yeah. And it sounds corny, but you do. And that's how you can tell
You,
the good writers or rappers.
yeah,
yeah,
y'all. I know y'all from the East Coast. You know, Tupac.
Yeah.
yes, he's from
That's
out
all I'm
there.
gonna say. You know,
We know he's from
I'm
out
from the
there.
West Coast.
I
Tupac.
got you.
Nah, Pac, yeah.
So
When
it
Yeah.
was
Pac
somebody
wrote
who was
Brent,
big in the community too. Was Mac Dre, all them. So I can relate
Rest in
to. Well,
peace.
I know, no, but I could see them doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Just I didn't do it, but
How many more all right.
future
See, it sound
goals.
yeah, because it sounds weird to ask, but like how many more books? I know you can see yourself going far. But how many more books do you plan on, or series do you plan on starting, or it's just a never-ending number?
You ever heard of the Cartel, the series The Cartel? They got like
I don't
7
believe
books
so.
out. I
Okay.
think it's I don't necessarily know who the writers are. I remember the name Jarvis. It's a female and Jarvis. They've written 7 books together, and that's where they stopped it at. And they might write more because they so good. They work so good together, and people love them so much. Um, I plan to stop my number at 5.
For that for
Really?
this for no for the series that you got going right
Oh, for
now.
this series.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
I'm gonna
okay,
stop
okay,
it at
okay.
5. Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
stop it at 5. And
Okay.
if I do get into more with this vampire book, if people like it, I would stop at 3. And I wouldn't write any more series. I would just write books that end because I'm not good with ending things, but I need to
Mm,
learn that so I can end it.
Mm.
So I want to
that's
work on
mm.
writing a book that ends. I want to write a novel.
Yeah, because there's some stuff that you watch or read and it ends. It's like, what? Like,
Yeah,
what?
I like cliffhangers.
Yeah, even
Right,
cliffhangers, but you have some people who end the book and you're like, this is not the ending I wanted. Like,
because it's an art to
Yes,
ending.
like yeah, like oh they lived happily ever after. Really? That's
yes,
cool. That's fun. Nobody dies. Nobody goes to jail forever.
yeah,
The
it's
good
like,
girl,
is it?
the pretty girl that he wanted when he was broke. Oh, okay,
Typical
that always
ending.
happens, right?
Yes,
Like
like,
some endings are pretty cliche. So I always want my endings to be like, ah, I'm gonna rip my hair out because what the f? I like those type of endings.
I th-
see,
but I think it's an art form to that type of ending. I think us as people, we crave the like we crave that what do you call it? Not it's not necessarily routine, but we crave that like it has to be the guy. That's why you can watch a movie and you can call what's going to happen before the thing even gets to the
comedy,
middle.
most
Yeah,
It's like,
comedy,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yeah, cliche.
to do that properly where it's a big twist at the end, you gotta know what you're doing. And it is an art form to it.
Look, you like big twists?
Yeah.
Give you big twist. I'm all about the twist, all about the what. You would never see that coming. Like I said, the girl I wrote in the series is a white girl. Her name is Lindsay. They call her Lindsay for Lindsay Lohan, and she just
Oh.
she's down with the fellas, with the brothers, with the sisters. She love it. She's for it. She just switched up one day, and you would never see that coming. Her friends never seen it coming. Her friend was like, "I never knew you wanted to be me. I always thought you wanted to be like you."
don't
You know,
don't feel
so
That's all right. We all got
we got it going. It's listen, shit, it happens. Listen,
yeah. Yeah. I just had
hello,
to go
um,
do some things. But
listen.
yeah.
That's why
no,
it's
my
so.
daughter she just turned 5 yesterday, so she's just like,
Hey,
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday.
"Thanks, that's awesome, guys. Thank you." You guys said it all at the same time. That was cool.
nah, nah,
Copycat.
nah, I ain't a copycat. Listen, this is a podcast. This ain't a radio station. Radios is like
Yeah.
everything's got to be robotic. Podcast is that's why people like it's just free flowing. It's just
Yeah.
natural.
It's
It's like
authentic.
Authentic.
exactly.
You know,
It's
we
supposed to.
want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm
It's
saying.
natural.
And that's why I like it. Like we don't, with because think about it. 20 years ago, if you wrote a book, like what radio station, like yeah, you could just come on
No,
our show. Yeah, it's like they got a select group, and that's the only people they let into the door, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah, so
yeah,
Having a
no,
voice.
yeah,
Having a voice. That's the
exactly.
thing.
hmm
We all
It's
can
like
have one.
it's not about what you know. It's like who you know. Back then,
yeah. Where now just people if it's a dope conversation, especially like I'm glad I'm interviewing a lot of artists, like authors, and trying to got a filmmaker coming up soon. You had a ex wrestler, ex football player on there. It's just good to hear these people's story because it's like it's people
Mhm.
out there like you right now that's sitting at home. Like I want to write, I want to do a book, but they don't know the avenues or where they write 2 pages. Like, oh, I'm a failure. Like these people are writing 20 pages a day. So you giving them information that helps it, hopefully inspire a new artist to come out. You know what I mean? A new author, like, which is a good thing. We need diversity in this world.
Yes.
Yeah, tell
Yes.
your story. Yeah.
Yes. I be telling people, y'all, I know so many people around me who think they don't have a story. And I be looking at them like, yo, like, you just told me about the time that you had to jump out somebody's window because you was messing with a woman. That is a story. You know, people love that type of drama. I be telling people, like, you did what? Like, my friend, she told me something so wild. I just I couldn't imagine. She said, "Guess what happened to me?" I said, "What?" She said, "I went to Texas for the first time and I got wild." I said, "What did you do?" She said, "Just know it involved urine and a guy paid me $5,000." I was like,
This is the type of stuff this podcast looks for.
"What did you do, girl? What? Tell me. I need to know details, deets."
What?
Girls do. And it's like we talk about
What?
stuff that you would not imagine that goes on. And I'm just like, y'all, I love you guys. This is life. Like right in front of me. I don't need TV. I have you guys. You guys are awesome. Love it. Tell me all your secrets. I won't
Damn,
tell anyone.
I know
My
that
word.
exactly. People let R. Kelly do that for free.
I mean, goodness gracious.
Exactly. Somebody give me $5,000.
I mean,
I had a brother. I had a brother I
$5,000.
shared the bed with, and he peed the bed, so I don't think it's that much difference.
okay. All right there. All
I
right
don't
there,
know.
buddy.
I'm really back in.
All right, Frank Bull.
This ain't $5,000. Like,
I mean, I don't know. They got. Never mind. See, yeah, no. Let's
yeah.
not turn it into that.
Oh
Oh
man.
God.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
to all the people, or to anybody who wants to, or we didn't ask this question because I'm curious to myself. To all the people who would like to do what you do, to write books, to pretty much write what's on their mind, to pretty much let their imagination explode and put it on the paper. What would you tell them? People are struggling trying to do that. What would you tell them right now?
Um, write in pieces. And when you get to a point where you can put it all together, do it that way. Um,
Hmm.
I write backwards. I start from the end and then I take it
Oh,
back to the beginning of what happened because I sometimes can't start at the beginning. It's hard when you can only see the beginning and you got to be like, okay, so what happened next? What happens next? What happens next? Right from the last part, I know what happened. This is what happened. What led to what happened? Okay, I can write what led to what happened now, and I can tell who everybody is within of what happened, and I can throw their backstory inside of it too. So I can introduce all the characters and everything. Boom! Now I got a book because I got
wow.
everything. I got the beginning, the end, the conflict, the plot, the twist, the drama. I got everything I needed. I got the introduction to the characters, all that. Some people write out their characters and their backstories first, and then put it all in the play. I think that's interesting. That's a different way to do it.
Okay.
Brainstorm, but I write mines in pieces and places it all together like a puzzle because I like to think.
That's different.
Yo,
That's
that was a
different.
dope at yo. I would have never thought start from the end. That's pretty dope. No, that's good
Yeah,
advice.
start from the end. Yeah, I start from the end and work my
Yeah.
way through. I see it like a movie, like boom, this is how things end. let me take it back to what happened.
Mm. The Nas, if the infamous Nas verse when he did a whole song in reverse. I know you remember that. Now,
Nah,
jeez,
only you, bro. I
What? He
don't walk
did
around thinking
that?
about Nas.
yes,
I
What
don't walk
Nas.
verse?
around every day thinking about Nas. I'm good.
I'm sorry. I'm a music buff. I like music. I'm into that stuff. So I kind of have like a little bit of knowledge of everything when it comes to music.
I'm
Sorry.
poking. I'm poking fun.
Dre's an uncultured swine. Um
You gonna let him call you that? You gonna let him get away with that?
It's kind of true.
Nah, he's very cultured. He listened to Taylor Swift.
All right.
Um,
All right. Okay.
Really?
Let's move on.
I,
I
I,
do, but certain songs.
what song you like?
her whole first two
I,
albums.
I don't. I don't.
I
Well,
was young,
actually,
young,
I
young
can
with my
name.
hair undone.
See, I like 22. See,
You
here's
didn't
the
finish
thing.
it.
All right,
You didn't finish it.
I did not that one. So because he's
That's what she
representing
was
me wrong,
country.
and I don't know why. I don't know why. Right, she was country at one point, and it's pop now. I like
Mhm.
her pop stuff, and it's only because, and I told him a long time ago, the reason why I listen to certain Taylor Swift songs is because it improves my mood. If I'm having a bad day at work, I do the same thing with Chris Brown. If I'm having a bad day at work, if I turn on certain songs from certain artists, it elevates my vibration, and I cannot be
Oh.
mad while I'm listening to it. 22 is one of them. I go crazy. I'm clapping in there. Bad
Mhm.
Blood is my joint. Like it's not about the artist, it's about the song.
Dude,
You know what I
you
mean?
talk to a
But
guy that I listen to Pink Floyd.
look at you
You know,
name dropping.
hey, listen, bro.
Oh, oh, oh,
I listen to some stuff that people like you. I'm a hardcore rap dude. I will listen to some rock and roll if it sounds good. Yeah, and I like what is called dubstep music.
Oh, you be
so would you
Oh
listen
yeah,
to? So you're saying you would slap some gospel rap?
yeah. If it's good, yeah. If
if
it's
it hit,
good,
yeah.
yeah. If it's slap, I'll listen
If
to
it
it.
hit,
Now, if you just trying
there's
to
a
put
couple of them that do.
yeah, you trying to just put verses together on some hard on a good beat and it's horrible. I'm sorry, I love Jesus, but I don't love Jesus enough to listen to your song. Sorry. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my god.
I'm just saying this.
Oh,
I'm honest with mine, bro. Not gonna lie.
blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Listen, we're made in his image. I know Jesus was like, Jesus tossed his CD straight out the car, probably if it was like, yeah, frisbee dog. Can't
That's
you
that's what Jesus is doing.
Jesus said, rap about something
Like
else.
Bow Wow.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Bow Wow never got no play in Jesus' car. All right,
You
all
know,
right.
like no, like wasn't that off the movie where Bow Wow was throwing window movies out the? I mean, throwing CDs out the window, like
Like it wasn't
out.
his own CD.
Huh?
He was like,
Yeah, like
yeah.
yeah.
I
That
don't
just
know that
Oh,
one.
that was
Lottery
funny.
ticket.
he
Like it
can't
ain't his
talk.
own CD.
He can't toss nobody's CD out the car. Bow Wow had a stretch and a run for 12 and 13-year-old kids, which was good
Hmm.
when he was popping. He
Hmm.
was Mr. 106 in Park.
All right,
Hmm.
leave Shad Moss alone, please.
That's his real name.
Yeah, leave Shad.
AKA
You said gotta get
AKA
technical.
AKA Little Mama. You know what I mean? When his career was going downhill, he turned into Little Mama. And then when that career went down, he turned back into Bow Wow. You can't tell me they're not the same person.
Please, sir. Like, leave this man alone.
All
Wasn't
right,
they
I'm
on
done.
Grown Up Hip Hop?
I don't know how
Yeah, I believe so.
how
Let
how
me go
Swade.
look
I
at them
want to know.
together.
They were never in the same scene together.
All
You,
right. we're not
You
we're not
told
even
me,
gonna do that.
I'm
go to
sorry.
the throw a wig on real quick.
Gotta let me get this right. Here's Little Mama. Where did Bow Wow go? He said he had to go to the bathroom. Listen
Where
enough. Okay, let's wrap. Let's wrap
yeah,
it up.
where
Like can't.
where can people find you and your work?
Right now I am on like every social media platform. You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is books by Brackens, BOOKSBYBR. Akins. Brackens, books by Brackens. I am on Instagram under myself. I hate Montisha. I'm also on Twitter. I hate Montisha. You can find me on Facebook, Montisha Brackens. My book is also located on Amazon under the Payback IO by Montesha Ford. You can also type in Montisha Brackens and I should show up as well.
All right, cool. Bet.
Nice.
Well, everybody that heard that, it will be in the description link on this episode. We definitely, we're gonna get all that from you after the show because we're gonna put that in the description. Whatever you feel comfortable giving to people, because this does go worldwide. Whatever you feel comfortable them clicking on and following you on, give it to us, and we're gonna put it out there. So,
Nice.
yes,
All right. So
Yes.
I
pass.
believe, you know what? Oh, we forgot to do one thing. Any last things you want to tell our audience?
Yes.
Um, like I said before, with writing a book, if you got to write it in pieces, you should do that. Don't give up. It gets hard. I've had writer's block as well. Um, Motivation is to motivate yourself first. Get a second opinion always.
Mhm.
Um, Edit your work and also let other people edit your work. Um, you can also make books with pictures in them. People love pictures, magazines, things like that. People don't think that there's pictures in books. It is pictures in books. People look at picture books. That's why magazines are still around.
Right.
And that's pretty much it, unless I'm shouting out some people.
Hey,
Give it to
just
them. Give it
give
to
it to
them.
them. Hey,
Hey,
shout
bro,
out.
look, I was shout out to my friends and all my family, my mom, my sister. I love them with all my heart. It was my daughter's birthday. She turned 5 yesterday. My niece reached for the stars. My brother got music out here. Trace with $2 signs. Shout out to Weeze. Shout out to Craig Doby. He do some great production. He finna do me some great photos for my about the authors things and who else? I'm also finna do a comic, y'all. So be looking out for that. I'm finna do a comic with my dude Alan. He has comics out right now,
Mm,
and he got also a short little animated series on YouTube. Um, so y'all, that's
word.
all I would like to say. Thank you guys for having me on here. I am excited, ecstatic. I feel like a celebrity. uh, I do.
Well, we
I really
appreciate
did.
you.
It's so crazy because y'all, I wrote a whole like speech and I just can't even deliver it because I'm just too excited right now. I can't read straight.
Well, you can
That's
always come back on.
Hell yeah, this ain't a
yeah.
one
I
time.
mean,
Um, yeah.
look, I'm gonna look into like this podcasting and when I get it situated and everything, I want y'all to come on there and give a little sauce of the
Little
opinionated
sprinkle.
ones because
Oh
I
yeah.
need that
Oh,
seasoning.
she
So
wants us to.
Absolutely.
I
She wants us
appreciate
to
this.
be our rated R self, our other
Yeah,
alter egos.
y'all funny. You guys are funny. Who doesn't like comedy? I like comedy.
Well, we'll bring the
Yeah,
I
funnies.
also like an educated point too. So, you know,
good.
y'all give a mixture of those things. So that's good.
Yeah, we
Y'all
we
not like
try.
super ignorant. You're not ignorant.
We try. That's a really hard line. We try not to
Yeah,
cross.
we try not to cross it. My man Dre brings me back to reality because my brain just be everywhere and it can get me into trouble sometimes. But yeah, but like we say, we're gonna wrap this up. Listen, let everybody on this episode, like always, you can find it everywhere. Your episode will be on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, wherever they stream podcasts. And also now Facebook has a thing. If people scrolling through Facebook and want to listen to your episode, it'll be on. We'll tag you in it, and people can have your episode playing in the background while they scrolling through Facebook. So
Yeah, that's
boom.
dope. I know a lot
Yes.
of people who be on Facebook.
Exactly. So they can listen to your episode, like listen to my episode, but
Listen
why
to
you
my
on face?
episode and listen to the other one. Stop playing.
Exactly. Why you
It's
on
Exactly.
good.
why you on Facebook scrolling through something? Had that playing in the background. Maybe have some
Right.
headphones on for
Yeah.
certain episodes if you got kids.
Yeah,
Just
you know,
I'm going to be honest with you.
put your AirPods in.
Exactly.
Right.
So toss it over to my main man Dre. You always
All
bring
right.
us out.
Once again, we were your host,
Kevin Durant.
and I'm Andre, and we would like to thank our guest, Montesha.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it so much.
We
Well,
appreciate you. Absolutely.
appreciate you. So, like, thank you for listening to today's episode of the Opinionated Podcast. If you love today's episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, 5 stars. We don't want nothing less. If you're an artist, inspired actress, a songwriter, an author, or you're doing something that's interesting and you want to be a guest on our show, please email us at opinionatedpodcastddk@gmail.com. That's opinionated podcast ddk@gmail.com. Thank you. Have a blessed day.